And like this next fight, you know, I want to see a lot more from Joesph Parker because I know there is a lot more there. You know, we need to be at our best for this fight with Hughie Fury. It's a guy that's, you know, he's a big, tall guy. He's undefeated. He's awkward. Very good amateur. Comes from a good boxing family, and you know, we will get the best Hughie Fury there is. And he's got the hometown advantage, which I wouldn't say it's an advantage because in Hughie's case, I think it's probably a disadvantage because it probably puts him under more pressure than he's ever been under before, fighting in front of his fans, his family, his supporters. There is high expectation for him.
What do you say, in part, one of the people was the Sky Sports commentators who are now beginning to question Joe's power over the last 2 fights?
Well, I'll tell you what, all they need to do is come and stand in front of Joe and let him hit them. You know, Joe punches as hard as any heavyweight out there, and the fact that the last 2 fights have gone the distance, let's remember, Andy Ruiz is 29-0, he's never ever been off his feet. I haven't seen anybody put any dents in Andy before, and Joesph Parker was the first guy to beat him in his professional career, and we knew that fight was going 12 rounds. Carlos Takam, again, a very, very durable, a very tough, a very physical guy. And it's these sort of fights, it's the Andy Ruiz fight, the Carlos Takam fight, that have Joesph Parker battle ready to fight the likes of Hughie Fury.
What is Hughie Fury? He's a very awkward guy, and he's tall and everything, so I know you can't give away the game plan, but is going to the body going to be very important in this fight? Oh,
we're going to be going to the body, we're going to be going to the arms, we're going to be going to the head, we're going to be going to the throat. You know, there are a lot of places that we're going to be going to with Hughie Fury. We're going to hit him every place we possibly can. Whatever's available, Joesph Parker will be hitting.
Do you feel he pulled out of that original date for legitimate reasons, or he just didn't want to fight Joe?
No, he wasn't ready. And, you know, they were trying to give it, like it was I was going to say a smart move. It was a calculated move on the part of his team. You know, he wasn't ready to come down to New Zealand and fight Joesph Parker in his backyard. The way it worked out, you know, he's now fighting in his hometown. So you know, sometimes you've got to be careful what you wish for. But you know, we know that he was never going to come to New Zealand. But I can promise you this: we're going to be in Manchester.
Do you think that Fury, heading into this fight, looks to be the toughest opponent of Joe's career, or was that maybe a guy like Ruiz?
No, I tell you what, you know, time will tell. You know, I think that Hughie's a good guy, a good fighter. He's a young guy who's developing. You know, we've fought some real guys. We've fought opponents that other people don't want to fight. We've been trying to fight Hughie Fury for a long time. We put the offer out there in Joe's 2nd year as a pro, his 3rd year as a pro. Every time that we'd say, hey Hughie, we're ready, you know, the response was always no. You know, I'm not ready for that fight. You know, so you know, this is a guy that we've looked at for a long time. We know his strengths, we know his weaknesses. One thing I can tell you this: Hughie Fury's never ever fought anything like Joesph Parker. He's never felt the power that he's going to feel in this fight. He's never seen the speed of Joesph Parker. He's never seen the physical work of a fighter like Joesph Parker. This is, you know, this is really his biggest test ever.
Did this fight have to happen in Manchester in order for it to really happen? Was Joe going to have to go to England no matter what for Fury to take the fight?
Yeah, look, it probably was. But look, the flip side of that is we've been trying to get to the UK for the last 18 months. 18 months ago, Joe was #1 in the world with the IBF to fight Anthony Joshua. We were sitting there as the mandatory. And, you know, we thought that we would be in the UK before now. So it was always our plan to campaign in the UK. There's a lot of very good fights there for us, and this is the beginning. You know, this is going to really put Joesph Parker on the boxing scene in the UK. And after we take care of Fury, there are other guys we're coming after. We're coming after Tony Bellew. You know, we're going to be fighting Anthony Joshua. That fight's going to happen. We're going to put Joesph Parker's going to be standing in front of him one day in the ring.
What fight would probably come first, Bellew or Joshua?
No, obviously, you know, I think Tony Bellew would be a perfect fight for us, you know, after the Fury fight.
Yeah, that would seem to be just a great matchup. And
you know, but what we've got to do first is we've got to take care of Hughie Fury, and you know, Joe's going to be punching really hard and really often in that fight, and we're looking to make a really explosive, dominating performance when we fight in Manchester.
The game, 'cause see the boxing voice.